Hello everyone, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to actually get on and go a little bit into left field here. It's just something that's been bothering me a little bit. I was doing a reading in another forum and I touched on this, and what I saw or what I felt has led me to actually want to explore it a little bit further. My question is the GOP actively undermining Donald Trump? In other words, they know that he's, a lame duck president. He's not accomplishing much. They know that they want victory in 2020. Just with the arrest of Epstein, which, everyone has known for years what Epstein has been doing. We had the wonderful work of the Miami Herald, but by the same token, we've got plenty of good news stories which are bringing forward a lot of truths and nothing is being done, including about the border camps. So the GOP are actively undermining Donald Trump. Are they supporting him until it gets to a point where it's quite obvious that he will be no good to them, and then they will withdraw their support, or not withdraw their support, but they will desert the sinking ship? And have they been paving the way now because they know the writing on the wall? What we don't know is what's going on behind the scenes, particularly around the FBI and what investigations the FBI are currently undertaking. Now, I know that there is some difficulty around William Barr now possibly interfering with the, it's only the campaign finance violation investigation or case in SDNY. It's not the inauguration as far as I know, but it is with the campaign violations prosecution. It's suddenly mysteriously dried up. Now, the reading that I did the other day showed Barr actually could be interfering, but in the bigger picture, the evidence against Trump was so strong in relation to the inauguration. That was the question, not the campaign finance violation. So if he has been interfering, it might be in these smaller matters. Would he be able to do it in the larger matters? I don't think so. That's my intuition. However, who knows? Who knows? He completely derailed the Mueller report, didn't he? However, what's at the basis here is the American voter, and that's the bigger picture. That's much, much bigger. This America is much, much bigger than Donald Trump. So you've got this president that is really not being able to be controlled by his own party, and he is really hurting. Now, he's been hurting the economy with the tariffs against China. What do you think allies are thinking around this racism and fascist persona he is presenting to the world, and is that good for business? In so many ways, he's undermining America, particularly with foreign policy, and things that are actually going to kick back and hurt the dark money webs, the ancestral, or not ancestral, but the moneyed elite, the dynasties. So much of what he's doing is actually creating instability for them. So will they support him for as long as it suits them? Has their horse actually gotten out of control? Are they no longer able to control Donald Trump, and are they therefore could be sections actively undermining him in some way? And if so, what are the ways they're doing that? That's really what I want to ask today. So I'm going to go. Join me if you want. I'm going to left field here a little bit. I'm just going to pose a hypothetical, and you can come along while I do that. So I'm using my Arcanum deck today, and I'll clarify with my Aquarian deck. So the first question we'll ask is let me just center myself here. The GOP and Donald Trump. Okay, so I'm getting an image of the Queen in a carriage, for example. What is that telling me? Okay, Donald Trump When he went to visit the Queen, what did he look like? He thought, taking all his family, he thought he was like royalty. So is this the king that's gotten out of control? There shouldn't be a king in America. I'm not talking in terms of values or morals. I'm not going to be looking at that side of things. I'm looking at a king who has become a dictator, an emperor, for example, who is no longer being able to be controlled by the people that put him into power. That's what I'm talking about. So, are the GOP no longer able to control Trump? Okay. We've got the devil card jumping out here. So this is interesting because the devil card is the great awakener, but it's also around being chained to someone. Who are they chained to? They're chained to the devil. Okay, so let's have a look there. All right, let's bring the laptop down and see what comes out. Okay, so are the GOP able to control Donald Trump? When I say the GOP, I'm talking about the moneyed elites. Is he hurting the GOP's interests? Okay. All right, so we've got the challenge to the devil card is the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety and worry. They're certainly worried about what he's doing. They're certainly worried about their ability to control him. Foundation of the reading is they're juggling now. They've got all these balls in the air. They've got 2020 in the air. They've got the Mueller investigation in the air. They've got the Democrats in the air. They've got Joe Biden in the air. They've got, even immigration itself. America, like Australia and other countries, immigrants bring wealth into a country. They provide labour. They provide new ideas, etc., etc. All of that is a challenge. All of these balls are up in the air for the GOP. Interesting. I would be very worried if I was Donald Trump. So what's happened in the past to affect this? Okay. Illumination, but also the win in 2016. A more innocent time when they weren't walking a tightrope. I'm getting the feeling here that these two children are striding out quite innocently. What are they striding out to? Well, there's been a greater illumination, not just, and I think this is the crux of what Trump brings forward for the GOP, or for that moneyed, kind of dark moneyed web. He's just shining a light on it with the Sun card here, and the innocence is dissipating. People are waking up. People are seeing too much. So I don't want to sound like a plot out of a movie, but he's exposing them. He's exposing them. Let's see what's in the sky here. Okay. The benign ruler. This is what they would prefer. This is the persona or the look that they would prefer. The King of Cups. The King of Cups is well perceived. A lot of what happens nobody knows about. This division in America is not working for the United States of America. They want somebody calmer. They want somebody who has this kind of persona that will bring not just Republican voters along, but a majority of voters along. And Trump is not doing that. Russia can no longer interfere here. That would be a leap too far to have all of America's systems aiding and abetting Russia. They've got to look at another way. We've got the Tower card here in the immediate future. This is what they're looking down at. They're looking down at chaos and ruin. So what are they doing now? What actually are they doing now? Let me just bring the laptop down and we'll continue with a series of these questions. What is the GOP doing now? Okay, they're trying to bring more balance into the situation. What's the environment around here? We've got chaos, we've got ruin, we've got trying to get some more balance into the situation. Got the Queen of Wands. That's interesting, because that's usually my Democrat card. Okay, this could be also some of the moneyed support behind Joe Biden. We've had other readers read on this. It's not something I've read on. That rather than support Trump, some of the donors, some of the moneyed donors are throwing their money behind a Biden appeal, because what Trump has done is he's actually unearthed all of this stuff. And we've got the King of Pentacles, the money in politics, the Russian money, the foreign money, the deals, the agendas, the way that DC has operated in the past. There's been almost a megawatt spotlight put on DC, and Trump has done that through his absurdity. So let's see what the outcome is. Are they able to control Trump? Are they able to control Trump? Are they able to control Trump? Okay, the Queen of Swords. This is calling for more objectivity, more discernment. This Queen of Swords could also be the Democrats as well. This is my other card for Pelosi. That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Pelosi hasn't moved toward impeachment. She's saying she's doing the heavy work now. I don't know why she's not moved toward an impeachment inquiry. Why is she here? Tell me about this Queen of Swords. Tell me about this Queen of Swords. Something has just jumped out there. Okay, Six of Cups. Past alliances is what I'm feeling here. Past alliances. It's Nancy Pelosi speaking with people in DC that maybe... Okay, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, something turning in her favour. That's interesting. And we've got the King of Swords here on the bottom, Moolah. Okay, what? All right, I didn't expect that turn in the puzzle. What that is showing me is that the GOP is chained to the devil. They're extremely anxious about that. They want someone more benign. They feel Trump is creating chaos for them. He's exposed them too much. They're looking for more balance. They're looking to the Democrats for more balance. Nancy Pelosi perhaps is aware or could be having these talks. It's around going back to a past, a more stable past. But my question was, does the GOP have a plan? Well, can they control Trump? No, they can't. But what this reading is showing is that they actually may be more aligned with Nancy Pelosi than what we actually think. And Mueller's in the frame here as well. Mueller's in the frame here as well. I want to ask if they're actively, because of that, I want to ask if they're actively undermining. Now, the reason undermining Trump and really that he can't control them either. This is a fringe dweller now, a fringe kind of almost lunacy that everybody's sort of wanting to, distance themselves from. Just this is left field, so just bear with me. Okay, are the GOP actively... Let me just shuffle again. I think that you have to consider when you get something as bizarre as Trump and what's going on currently, you have to start to... And the power of America, the sheer power of America, I think you have to consider what might be going on behind the scenes. Okay, so the GOP, and when I say the GOP, I'm not talking about Mitch McConnell, although Mitch McConnell would be aware. He might be trying to manage factions as well. The GOP could be the real movers and shakers, which are the money donors. I feel that's where I'm being drawn to. Are they actively trying to undermine Trump? Are the big money GOP donors... Are they trying to get rid of Trump? Let's just put it that way. Are they trying to get rid of Trump? Okay, so we've got the Three of Cups, which is a celebration. It's a yes card. It's like people joining together to achieve something. What's challenging them? What's challenging them? Okay. All the secrets to be revealed. Okay, so their support of Donald Trump is being challenged simply by who he is and what he's done. What has he done? What has he done? Okay, so what's the foundation, the past, the potential of the reading? GOP, the money donors, the moneyed elite, are they actively trying to undermine Trump? Undermine Trump. Okay, the tug of war. This would suggest that certain sections of the GOP are actively working against other sections of the Republican Party because of what has occurred, what has come out in relation to Trump. Bringing the truth forward. This again is the Hierophant. This can be working with the government, can be working with the courts here. That's interesting. They're looking for a new start, a new emotional start. That's really, I feel, the thing that's really, it's almost like America is being ripped apart. That's what I'm feeling, and they want obviously more stability. This is not good for the United States of America. So what are they currently doing? Okay, we've got two cards. Theft and betrayal would suggest that some are betraying Trump. And the Eight of Swords, they're trying to restrict him. Okay, what are they fearing here? What are they fearing? What are the GOP, sections of the GOP, not all the GOP, but sections, what are they fearing? Okay, so I've got three cards that have fallen out. Okay, that's interesting. So this came out for the hopes and fears. This is the future. This is a plan for the future, and the outcome cards, judgment. They're fearing, or the outcome. Are they actively trying to undermine him? This is endings. This is when something should be over, and it's clarified by this Nine of Cups. So this is a yes card. They're wanting, new starts, and it's also, there's a lot of emotion here. I'm not seeing pentacles, it's actually emotion. And what's clarified here with, sorry, the Five of Swords is the abuse of power, the Seven of Swords is theft and betrayal. So he's abused his power currently. They could be abusing theirs as well. And we've got restriction trying to restrict Trump. The Seven of Cups here is illusions, which is an interesting card to come forward. So basically that reading is saying they've judged Trump. The Nine of Cups, they're wishing for, this is the wish card, miracles, abundance. They're wishing for new starts. It's particularly around emotional as well. And there's a theft and a betrayal going on. So there would be sections, I feel, of the moneyed elite that normally would be in DC. He's doing damage. He's doing damage to them now, to their way of life, if you like. Okay, so I'm going to Epstein, and why Epstein was charged, brought to justice. Is this a way of Berman was actually a Trump appointment, so he's leading the charge really in relation to to Epstein. Berman and his prosecutors leading the charge with Jeffrey Epstein. This could expose a lot of people. What's going on here? What's going on with the Epstein arrest here? Are they hoping to... let's just have a look at the relationship between Epstein and Trump. Okay, so we've got two cards coming out here. We've got things coming forward overwhelmingly with the Eight of Wands here. Lots and lots and lots coming forward. And we've got dark money. Okay, so that's interesting. We've got my card for dark money, and lots and lots and lots of things coming forward. Okay, so what is the relationship between Trump and Epstein? What is the relationship between Trump and Epstein? Trump and Epstein, what is the relationship? He's certainly being judged. He's being judged for it. What is the relationship? What is the relationship between Trump and Epstein? Trump and Epstein. Okay, so we've got the Empress. It was strong at one point and abundant, and lots and lots and lots in common. This is kind of a mastery and a victory. I'm feeling that these were similar, that there was a like-mindedness at one point between the two, and we saw that when Epstein was partying at Mar-a-Lago. There was also some kind of commerce expansion, looking to foreign shores here. There was some kind of, this could be the card of the narcissist as well. Some kind of betrayal. The environment around strength. Okay, so I'm feeling that at one point, I'll just bring the laptop down. At one point, their relationship was extremely, extremely strong, and there was some kind of commercial benefit here as well. The Four of Wands, Mar-a-Lago, and that's in the fear position. So I feel that Mar-a-Lago contains a clue here as to what could have been the basis of their relationship. We've got the King of Wands. That's interesting. And the Hermit. Let's have a look what else. And the Queen of Cups. Okay, there is something around women here. Those of you who have... Obviously, there's something around women here. Those of you who have been following my readings know that she first came up last year in relation to this matter. And what's hidden from our view here is, this can come forward around, drugs, alcohol, partying, etc. Okay, so they had a strong relationship. They partied together at Mar-a-Lago, including at Mar-a-Lago. They hung out in the same set. There was some kind of business arrangement between them. Okay, so all of that's sort of like permeating around in the background, with Berman leading the prosecution. So I'm going to ask, is Berman, because we've had the investigation, as I said, into Trump's campaign violations, or the campaign violations, finance violations, that seems to have mysteriously evaporated. And of course, some people are speculating that Barr could potentially have interfered. My reading, as I said the other day, it's not the main game. That is not the main game. Let's go back to Berman, with Berman leading the charge here, the prosecution team, and the charge against Epstein. Is he likely to find and bring forward any information that might include Donald Trump? Is Trump likely to be implicated in any way in the Epstein matter? Trump likely to be implicated in any way in the Epstein matter? Okay, so we've got my Mueller card, and we've got balance here, or temperance, patience coming out. So Mueller's been hampered by we're having to wait for things to emerge. Let's have a look. Foundation of the reading is the Tower. The Tower card. In the past, we've got the Emperor here. Control. Maintaining control. And we've got the Three of Wands in the sky here, the commerce and the expansion. It could be that, any sort of business deals or business that Trump might have had with Epstein may come out, because there is a monetary card here with the Ace of Pentacles, income sources. The King of Pentacles, Trump the businessman, yeah, okay. The Page of Cups, some kind of surprise news around the money, around the commerce. The hopes and fears is the Five of Wands. This is fighting obstacles and challenges. And the outcome card is strength and endurance. Of the women, I think. The World card, endings and beginnings. And we've got the Eight of Swords, restriction. Possibly imprisonment as well. And what's underneath here? We've got waiting for things to come out. So what could come out is some monetary connection between Epstein and Trump. Okay. Mueller's turned up here. Mueller has turned up here. So I wonder if... Okay. I'm going to do a 360 now to William Barr. Because if he was once protecting Trump and Trump looks like he's a shot duck, is William Barr going to continue protecting him and put his own freedom, I guess, in jeopardy? Or is he going to really realise that the game is up and desert the sinking ship? William Barr, will he continue to support Trump, given that we're seeing things, people are going to start really abandoning that ship when Trump is no longer of use to them, when he becomes a complete and utter liability? Okay, will William Barr continue to support Donald Trump? Will William Barr continue to support Donald Trump? So we've got the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. It's also a yes card, but that's a signifier card, so let's see. It's challenged, though, by more and more and more stuff coming through, by being overwhelmed by lots and lots and lots of evidence coming through. So his support is being challenged by how much might come out in the near future about Donald Trump. No, this foundation of the reading, Trump's presidency is ending. What we've got in the past, Barr presented hope. He was brought in, I think, to provide some sort of hope. What we've got in the sky, we've got the Two of Swords. Barr has to make decisions because of the amount of things that are just going to be coming forward here. Nine of Cups, that's interesting. It's almost like, well, miracles, wishes coming true. Four of Wands, celebrations, secrets, the environment around secrets emerging from that deep, dark pond. Oh, the fear, chaos and ruin, and Five of Pentacles, loss. So that's a no there. With clarified by the High Priestess, secrets that are going to be revealed, and Barr having to defend himself. It's all actually what's hidden from our view. The King of Cups, the GOP, the sections, the money. We're back where we started from. The moneyed elite, however you want to call it, they want a more benign ruler. It's interesting because what else is on the bottom is the Fool and New Beginnings. So, it could be that they want Pence, but my feeling is Pence is going to be caught up in whatever comes forward around Trump. Look, there's loss there for Barr. He's going to be sidelined in some way by what is going to be revealed about Trump. And as a result, he's going to have to defend himself. He's very fearful with this Tower card. He's worried because of the moon coming up here. This is almost a crisis of faith. So while it was hopeful in the beginning, at some point, due to the actual nature of what's actually going to be emerging about Trump, and it being quite clear that his presidency is ending, Barr is actually going to switch sides, or switch loyalties, switch allegiances. Barr will be, his allegiance will be to the GOP, not necessarily to Trump. So that's interesting. I'm just going to ignore that phone ringing. Do we need to go anywhere else? Maybe we just finish with one question. Is Trump the Titanic? Is Trump the Titanic? Oh dear, is Trump the Titanic? Is Trump the Titanic ship? Is Trump the Titanic? You wouldn't want to be a deck chair, as they say. Is Trump the Titanic? Is Trump the Titanic? Just three quick cards. Is Trump the Titanic? So the world, endings and beginnings. It's a nice card. Endings and beginnings. Mueller, the King of Swords here. I feel that there's been a lot more work done by Mueller than what we actually know about. And we've got the Five of Wands, factionism, tug of war, obstacles and challenges, and bringing more balance back into the situation. What's hidden from our view is the Empress card. Not a bad card to finish on. We've seen women being denigrated by this president. The World card is suggesting something is going to one cycle finishing and closing, the next start, and a new cycle starting again. And then we've got Mueller right here on the reading, and bringing balance back into a situation that is the Five of Wands, this factionalism, this division, etc., bringing balance back in. So regardless of the way that we get there, for the world, whether it's through previous GOP donors backing a Democrat candidate, or regardless of whatever, I do feel that Mueller will have the final say. Okay. And perhaps in another way, because everything's layered, isn't it? It's not black and white, and it's not simple either. In another way, women will have their final say as well. It will be the strength of the women. So regardless of how we get there, I think we're going to get there in a blaze of something or other, including glory. I feel that this president's time is coming to a close. Okay. I also wouldn't like to be in his shoes. All right, thank you for tuning in to my left field reading. I think it's always interesting to go to these kind of scenarios. Thank you again.